Growing up, I had the most amazing neighborhood. We were probably like your neighborhood, but we would play night games, kick the can, Red Rover. But our favorite, Piggy Wanna Motion. Now, this was a form of hide and seek where you'd run and hide, and there was one person, the piggy, he'd go around and he'd find people. But once you were with the piggy, you'd have to go around saying, Piggy Wanna Motion, Piggy Wanna Motion. And if somebody in hiding saw you, they could give you a motion. And if you saw a motion, you had the chance to run if you didn't get caught. Of course, the end of the game ended when everyone was found. The problem was we had 15 backyards to be able to run in. So I remember at times hiding under bushes for like a half hour, just paralyzed, not wanting to be found, or running like I heard a deer with the other kids to another part of the neighborhood so that we wouldn't be found. And okay, that was an era when it was safe to be outside after dark. But when we got a whistle and it was curfew time, we ran home. We were obedient because honestly, nobody wanted to be grounded and not be part of Piggy Wanna Motion. Now, we loved playing and laughing and strategizing and teaming up to work with each other. But that wasn't the only thing our neighborhood did. We had like a comic book library where we all turned in our comic books, and then we could check them out for a couple days at a time. In fact, we even wrote the play of Dracula and produced it with lights and music. And at the age of 12, I got to be one of Dracula's wives. So why do I reminisce about my neighborhood? We'll talk about feeling included. When you play and create with others, there's that bond like no other. We felt connected, a part of something. And well, it was incredibly fun, but it also spurred us to be incredibly creative. I don't think there was ever a time when I said, oh my gosh, I'm bored. There's nothing to do, because there was always something to do. There were rose bushes to be able to make huts in. There was an old abandoned house that we'd go in and make up spooky stories about the ghosts that were still alive there. There were steer in the field outside that we'd jump on and ride their backs. Or my grandmother had old formal dresses and high heels that we'd dress up and play tea party or make up a play. And boy, those were the days when we had time to play, and especially in the summertime. But little did we know the value of play and the influence it had on our brains. Play is just as important now for our development as it was back then, and it has a new role. And we've probably honed in now on what kinds of play we enjoy. But today it's all about identifying your play personality and how to put more play back into your life. So if you're ready, let's play. Hello, hello, hello. You're listening to No Brainers Empowering Possibilities Show. These are dialogues of encouragement with fresh perspective, invitations to aha, a little bit of science and a dash of behavioral psychology, and skills and tools that you can use right now. So if lovely enough is on your radar, my friend, you are at the right show. I'm your host, Roseanne Marsh. I'm the author of the teen and the parent empowerment curriculum called Level Up Empowering Possibilities. And you are listening to episode number 60, Time to Channel Your Play Personality. Okay, so now it's your turn. I told you a little bit about some of the ways that I played when I was young. But how about you? What did you do for play when you were a child? And it'll be totally different for all of us, because really it depends on where you grow up, what things were around, what you were exposed to, what friends you had. But what are those amazing memories that you have because of the play that you did when you were young? We all know that there is a power in play for children's development. Children learn through play, but the opportunity to experience play as a child has a huge role on our cognitive development. And through play, we learn how to form conclusions. We learn how to reason. We learn how to follow rules. We learn how to come up with creative ideas. We start to understand and practice patience as we have to wait our turn. And we learn about relationships. We learn our physical abilities as we're running through the playground and swinging on the monkey bars. We learn new vocabulary as we start role playing and using the words of a grocery store clerk or a hardware person or a tea party. And play reduces stress for children. And every single one of those benefits that I just mentioned, they still apply today to us. We still learn when we play. And when we engage in play, it's almost as if we had opened up our brain to allow more learning, more associations, and let stress release. And especially when there's humor involved and laughter. And the health benefits of those two are exponential. George Bernard Shaw said, "We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing." So if play can stop us from aging, let's get our play on. What are the advantages for we as adults? Well, it's a stress reliever. It gets those endorphins, those feel-good chemicals going. And when endorphins are in your body, it can even relieve our pain. It's a natural pain reliever. And when we play games and puzzles and anything that challenges our brain, it helps prevent memory loss, improves our brain function. And literally, when we're playing with other people, it can chase off that stress and depression. It can boost our creativity. Children learn best through play, and the same thing applies to us. We can learn a new task better when it's fun. And when our imagination, our creativity is engaged, we're better problem solvers. We're better at thinking of new possibilities. And we literally open doors that we did not imagine were even there. So playing can help us connect better with other people, and it can improve our relationship. There's nothing like laughing together and having fun to bond with each other. And it really doesn't even mean that we have to play something specific. It's really a way of living. It's a mindset. Being playful can be very spontaneous. Flirting is actually a way of playing. And we're more attractive when we're more humorous and fun and joyful and have more vitality. And sometimes playing and laughter can help us resolve conflicts that we have in our important relationships. Putting a playful or like a little joyful spin on things can really help us through some awkwardness or embarrassment or some walls that have been put up, and help us build those connections, those relationships, and keep things fresh and interesting. And last but not least, play can literally help us feel young again, can bring back some amazing memories of when we were young. So for some of us, play might seem superfluous. Like, man, this is serious. We have work to do, families to take care of, obligations, time commitments. When do I put play into my life? Well, how do you define play? And what is your play personality? I read an exciting article by Dr. Stuart Brown, and he's a researcher and the founder of the National Institute for Play. Who knew they had that, right? But he has identified 8 play personalities. Now, this is based on science, but this is based on thousands and thousands of interviews, observation, and research that he has done. And he says that you can recognize that there's a uniqueness in every person, but people naturally fit into one or more of these play personalities. But we usually have one that's really dominant. Now, what I extrapolated from this was kind of exciting, because if we can identify what our play personality is, that could be utilized to help us learn more and learn better. Now, if we could also do that for our children, imagine the opportunity that opens up, if you're getting my gist here. So let's go through these 8 personalities and see which one you fit into. The first play personality is the collector. This is a person who enjoys building collections, such as collecting stamps or vintage cars. This is a person who goes on trips, and the thrill is to be able to collect things from those different trips. Collectors may be someone who enjoy this kind of play solitarily, or they may enjoy sharing it with others who have that same type of passion. That was number 1. Number 2, the competitor. If you're a competitor, you enjoy playing and winning games with specific rules, like playing for a neighborhood soccer league or playing on a baseball team or a volleyball team. You could even be like my friend who does game nights at her home, and she's highly competitive at all the games she plays. Competitors access that euphoria and that creativity by playing games, competing when there are rules that apply to it. The third is the creator or the artist. If you're a creator and artist, you find joy in making things or making things work. You might enjoy doodling or woodworking or decorating or fixing or machinery work or sewing. Creators and artists may never show their work to anyone else in the world. But the point is, you love to create. The creator may even love disassembling things, making it brand new and putting it back together. Creative play could even mean decorating a room in your home. Number 4, are you the director? You may enjoy planning and directing, like hosting themed birthday parties. Directors are board organizers. They love to create events. They love to make things happen. They love to gather people and direct people. They love the power to make things happen. And at their very best, they are party givers, planners of great excursion, and dynamic centers of their social world. So do you play through directing? The next is the explorer. You play by discovering something new, either something physical, a new place, or mentally discovering something. You might play by going on a vacation to a new place or discovering a new type of music. But the explorer feels compelled to explore our world. Number 6, is your play personality the joker? You enjoy being silly and foolish, and you might enjoy improv theater or simply making your friends laugh. Are you the one that was your class clown? Do you enjoy bringing humor into everywhere you are? If so, then you're the joker personality. Number 7, the kinesthete. Think of kinesiology, the need to feel your body. You enjoy moving your body as you play. You might practice yoga or take a dance class for fun. Kinesthetes naturally want to push their body and feel the results. While kinesthetes may play sports, competition is not the main focus. It's a way of engaging in any kind of movement. The 8th play personality is the storyteller. You play by listening to or creating stories. You may really enjoy going to the theater or writing in a journal or writing a book. Storytellers could be novelists or playwrights or cartoonists or screenwrites, or they may find their greatest joy in reading the novels and watching the movies created by other people. Storytellers feel engaged in the stories, and they experience the thoughts and the emotions of the characters in the story. Performers of all sorts are storytellers, creating an imaginative world through acting, dance, lectures, or even magic tricks. Because imagination is the realm of the storyteller, they bring play to almost any activity. So think again, which of these 8 was your play personality? And do you have a secondary? So again, the collector, collecting things, the competitor, competing with everything, the creator or the artist, finding joy in making things, the director, organizing and planning, the explorer, discovering new things, mental or physical, the joker, being silly and making people laugh, the kinesthete, moving your body, and the storyteller, being engrossed in listening or telling stories. Now, instead of a love language, this could be your play language. And when we understand what our play language is, our play personality, and those things that really light up our soul, those are the things we can add purposely into our life. We learn through play, but also in this time of increased stress or anxiety, etc., that release valve is very important for our mental and emotional state. So what are some other ideas on how we can add some play into our life? It doesn't have to be a whole day event or even an hour event. Play can be spontaneous. It can just be a little insertion of time. It could even be 20 minutes. So for example, if you have children, schedule some regular playtime, and it could just be those 20 minutes. But you have this standing play date when you turn off everything, all the distractions, undivided, and you let them take the lead. And you don't correct how they want to play or what they want to do, but you take the lead and you go into their play state. There's no better way to learn about play than to take it from those who know how to play. And just imagine the relationship you can foster just by adding a little play with your children. Another way is How about hosting a regular game night with your friends? I told you about a friend of mine that does that regularly. And games help keep the brain sharp and active. It decreases that memory loss. And of course, there's those added benefits of socializing. Now, another way is if you have a pet, schedule some playtime with your pet, throwing a frisbee or taking a walk or wrestling with them. Think about the needs of that animal for a minute and what would be play for them, and then engage at that level. Even that short amount of time, just think of the joy you'll bring the animal. But there is so much more that comes back to us through the love of these amazing creatures. Schedule something out in nature where there's a beach or a park or a mountain bike trail. Riding bikes, rent some bikes if you don't have any, borrow some bikes if you don't have any. A friend of mine said she loves riding bikes because it's what she did when she was little, and it just brings back that joy and freedom she had when she was a young girl. So take advantage of what Mother Nature has out there and bring along a friend. Move your body. Sports is a type of play. Join a volleyball team or an exercise team. Break out spontaneous dance-a-thon, which is one of my favorite things to do. I just joined a hip hop group. And okay, in my mind, I imagine that I look better than I really do. But the point is, I am moving. So what is your flavor of movement that you like? Can you go dancing with a partner? When was the last time you tried skating or bowling or laser tag? Okay, you get it. Just move. In my area, snow sledding is really big right now. And I have to say, I got spontaneous one day. We were where they sled by a junior high near me. I didn't have a sled. So I just got on my back, put my knees up, hugged my legs to my chest, and I slid down the hill on my back with my dogs chasing me. It reminded me of elementary, and my gosh, it was so fun. And I thought to myself, why had I not tried that before? And I didn't even care if anybody saw me. I hope I started a trend. Another thing you could do is go to a magic store and learn some tricks or buy some art supplies and construction toys. Any one of you remember erector sets? Yeah, you can find some of those on eBay. What about Legos? Oh man, building Legos lights our brain up in many different ways. Another way to put play is schedule a regular play date with your significant other and trade off who gets to decide what you're going to do. And when it's their turn, play along with whatever it is they want to do, or double date to make it even more fun. Now, this one, make a game out of everything. You can add some fun to even the most mundane chores. Anything can be a game if you make it a competition, or if you add points, or you keep score. How about washing and drying dishes together with someone by standing on one leg, and the one who touches down their other foot has to finish the other person's chore. But even if you're on your own folding your laundry, time yourself, and then next time, see if you do better. Make a game out of everything. Surround yourself with really fun and playful people. When you're around those that know how to loosen up, it's easier for us to kind of see how we do it. What does spontaneous look like to you? One of the things my family used to do is establish a king's taster. You know, the ones who used to have to try the food of the king, and if they didn't die because it wasn't poisoned, then the king would go ahead and eat the food. Well, have a king's taster. And they just have a little half teaspoon of everything to make sure that the family is safe, and then congratulate the king's taster for surviving. Now, do you know who else is realizing that play is really essential? Savvy large corporations, not the small, but even the large ones now, are realizing for their companies to thrive, they've got to add in some play. And they're incorporating team building, but it's not that kumbaya, trust falls and rope courses with a little bit of share time afterwards. No, they are incorporating play that engages strategy, teaches the core value needed for the team. And of course, the desired end result is to create teamwork and boost productivity. But many companies are looking at how they can amp up the quality of the work and how they can attract the brightest and the best talent out there by creating a culture that doesn't just press for result, but cultivates an environment of nurturing creativity, releasing stress, strengthening the bond with other coworkers, and, well, creating a place that's satisfying, innovative, and a place you really want to invest your genius and your contribution. So, of course, you've heard of companies that have basketball hoops or yoga studios or common shared break areas with comfy sofas and puzzles, so that collaboration is encouraged through the different departments, and taking stress breaks so that they can regroup and come back with more energy. It's the atmosphere that they are creating. There's actually play companies out there that will create custom experiences for your team, such as game shows and spy espionage scavenger hunts and disaster preparedness games and mindfulness games and music video games and whatever it is you want created. But it's strategic so that it's not some corny little thing. And it goes beyond just spending time together at a golfing event or at the theater and a dinner. It's about bringing together a team so that they can reframe problems, they can find new solutions, they can try new strategies, and they can celebrate each other. So there's power in strategy in play. And it's never too late to develop your playful and humorous side. If you find yourself limiting your playfulness, maybe it's because you feel self-conscious or concerned about how you're going to look. Adults often worry that being playful is going to make them look childish, but children are incredibly creative, they're inventive, and they're constantly learning. And if that's the definition of what childish is, isn't that what we want to become? So think about what your play personality is, and how can you add more of that to your life to bring a spark, to bring playfulness, to bring less stress and more learning, to engage your brain, to get excited about life, become more attractive and inviting to other people. These are beyond the strategies of surviving. Adding play is a strategy of thriving. It's a strategy of blossoming. It's a strategy of blooming. What kind of play do you want to add to your life? Who do you want to play with? And if you're in my neighborhood, let's play a rousing game of Piggy Want Emotion. Now, if you enjoyed learning about this, you may enjoy episode number 51, where you learn about laughter, the best medicine. You want to learn about taking some adventures in your life, some creative adventures, so that you can master the art of noticing. Then turn to episode number 59. Now, for those of you who like to play games and you want an edutainment game for your family that's not only fun and exciting, but you learn 4 relanguaging skills that uplevel your ability to see life in a totally different way. Click on the link in the show notes if you're interested. Okay, guys, this is a week when we start to play more, even if it's just 10 minutes. What do you say? Will you come out and play this week? I hope you will. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.